Ever wish you had like a cheat sheet for those everyday English conversations? You know, grabbing coffee or asking for directions or even just like how to make small talk. Today we're doing a deep dive on a script that's basically like a crash course in exactly that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's labeled as like beginner English.
Yeah.
But honestly, these are phrases and situations that, you know, native speakers encounter all the time.
Totally. It's like they distilled like the essentials of daily conversation.
Yeah.
And it kicks off with greetings, which you know, seems simple, but it can be tricky. Like, when do you use good morning versus like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, that's a classic pitfall. And this script does a great job of highlighting those subtle differences between formal and informal greetings.
Yeah.
Because using the wrong one can lead to some, you know, seriously awkward encounters.
Well, tell me about it. I once accidentally greeted a CEO with a casual, hey man, let's just say I learned that one the hard way.
I bet.
Yeah. You know, read the room.
But that's why this script, I think, is so helpful, is that it reminds us that even something as basic as a greeting can have a big impact.
Right. And it even covers that little dance after how are you? You know, that unspoken rule where you always have to ask back, how about you? It's like English ping pong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about that, you know, back and forth, that little acknowledgement that you're genuinely interested in the other person. And these are subtle cues that can make or break a conversation, I think, especially when you're, you know, still getting comfortable with the language.
It's like learning the steps to a social dance. Once you know the basic moves, then you can kind of relax and enjoy the music.
Right.
Speaking of which, this script has a whole section on ordering food, another, you know, universal language. Am I right?
Absolutely. And I like how it breaks down the different settings, like a restaurant versus a fast food place, because the pace and the formality can vary quite a bit.
So true. It's like ordering a 5-course meal requires a different approach than grabbing like a quick burger.
Exactly. And for someone, you know, new to the language, those nuances can feel, you know, overwhelming, but the script keeps it simple and clear.
Which is key when you're trying to build confidence, right? You don't want to be fumbling over your words when you're just trying to get your order across. It's all about like having those go-to phrases kind of in your back pocket, you know, ready to go when hunger strikes.
Right.
But let's be real, sometimes the hardest part of speaking a new language isn't even ordering the food. It's like, what do you say after you've ordered that pre-meal small talk?
Oh, absolutely. Small talk can be a minefield, even for native speakers.
Oh, yeah.
But this script breaks it down in a way that feels, I think, manageable.
Right. It focuses on those kind of universal conversation starters, like the weather or weekend plans.
Exactly. They're like those trusty icebreakers that can, you know, get a conversation flowing without requiring you to, like, bare your soul.
Right.
And what I appreciate is how the script emphasizes the importance of asking follow-up questions.
Yes.
It's not just about making a comment. It's about, you know, showing genuine interest.
Yeah, like if someone says, oh, I'm going hiking this weekend, you don't want to just be like, that's cool, and then like clam up.
Right.
You could say, oh, where do you like to hike? Or have you been hiking much lately? You know, keep the conversation going.
Precisely, those follow-up questions show that you're actively listening and engaged.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, key to making a good impression.
It's like that saying, people may not remember what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel.
Right.
And feeling heard and acknowledged is a big part of that.
Absolutely. And what's interesting is that this script, despite focusing on, you know, seemingly basic conversations, actually touches on, I think, a key element of effective communication in general.
Okay.
Which is being present and engaged.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's not just about the words themselves, but the intent behind them.
That's so true. It's about making that connection, even if it's just like a brief exchange with a barista or a fellow commuter.
Exactly. And the script emphasizes that, you know, you don't have to be a master conversationalist to make small talk.
Sure.
It's more about being present, being genuinely curious, and showing, you know, respect for the other person.
It's about those little acts of kindness and connection that I think make all the difference, no matter what language you're speaking.
Yeah.
Speaking of kindness, let's talk about another situation where politeness is paramount.
Yeah.
Asking for directions.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Getting lost in any city, my personal nightmare.
Sure.
But this script makes it feel a lot less daunting.
It does. It really does. And it highlights the importance of starting with excuse me, which is like the magic phrase for politely getting someone's attention.
Yeah. It's like saying, hey, I know you're probably busy, but I could really use your help.
Exactly. And the script goes beyond just asking where is. It provides examples of how to ask for directions in a way that's, clear and specific. Like, could you tell me how to get to the train station from here?
Which is so important because knowing something exists and knowing how to actually get there are two completely different things.
Right.
I remember once trying to find a restaurant in Italy, and I knew the name of it. I even had a map, but I still managed to get hopelessly lost.
Sure.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
And that's why this group's emphasis on clear, concise directions, I think, is so helpful. And it even covers different modes of transportation.
Right.
Which can be really useful in a new city.
Totally. Because sometimes the fastest route isn't always the most obvious. Like taking a subway might be quicker than walking, even if it seems counterintuitive.
Exactly. It's all about having the right information and knowing how to ask for it effectively. And that's what this script empowers you to do.
It's like having a personal language coach, like in your pocket, ready to guide you through those everyday conversations that can sometimes feel anything but ordinary, especially when you're learning a new language.
Right.
It's funny how like something as simple as asking for directions can feel like a major accomplishment when you're navigating a new language.
It really is. And this script does a fantastic job of kind of breaking down those communication barriers and giving you the tools to succeed in those situations.
It's like they've taken all the guesswork out of it. Instead of feeling lost and confused, you can just focus on the actual interaction, which is a huge, confidence booster.
Absolutely. And speaking of confidence, one thing this script emphasizes, I think, throughout is the importance of practice.
Yeah. It's like learning any new skill. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes.
Exactly. And the great thing about practicing everyday English is that you have, endless opportunity. Every interaction from, ordering your morning coffee to chatting with a cashier is a chance to flex those language muscles.
It's like turning everyday life into a language immersion course.
Right.
And you know what I find really inspiring about this script is how it reminds us that we're all capable of learning new things, no matter, our age or our background.
It's true. This script takes a very, approachable and encouraging tone.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter if you're a complete beginner or you've been learning English for a while. These tools and strategies are designed to help you, build confidence and fluency.
And I love how it emphasizes that making mistakes is part of the process.
Yeah.
Like give yourself permission to stumble over a few words, to ask for clarification, to laugh at yourself even. But that's how we learn and grow.
Absolutely. It's all about embracing the journey and celebrating those, small victories along the way.
Yeah.
Like the first time you successfully order a meal in English or have a short conversation with a local, those moments are huge.
They really are. They mark those milestones on your language learning adventure.
Yeah.
And you know what I find so fascinating is how this seemingly simple script, while focused on like these practical language skills, it also kind of offers a glimpse into the cultural nuances of everyday communication.
It does.
It's almost like a crash course in not just the language itself, but also like the unspoken rules and social cues that go along with it.
For sure.
Like the importance of making eye contact when you greet someone, or the appropriate way to address someone that you don't know very well.
Yeah.
Like those little details can make a big difference.
They do.
It's like you're not just learning how to speak English, you're learning how to connect with English speakers on a deeper level.
Precisely. It's about, bridging that cultural gap and fostering a sense of understanding and respect.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is what makes this script so valuable. It goes beyond just like functional language and touches on the heart of human connection.
So well said. It's like they say language is the key to unlocking the world.
Yeah.
And the script gives you that key and encourages you to step out and explore.
Exactly. And who knows, that exploration might just lead you to, unexpected adventures, new friendships, and a deeper appreciation, I think, for the power of language.
It's a beautiful thought. So for anyone out there who's maybe feeling a little intimidated by the prospect of learning English, or maybe you just need like a little refresher on those everyday conversations, this script is a fantastic resource.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that we don't have to be, fluent to communicate effectively.
Right.
We just need the confidence to try.
And on that note, that wraps up our deep dive for today. We hope this inspires you to keep exploring the fascinating world of language and communication. Until next time.